Today's story is called Length. Length helps you measure things from one end all the way to another. These shoelaces are not the same. Each lace is a different length. If you look at the yellow one, that's where it starts, and it's wrapped around, wrapped around, wrapped around, and that's where it ends. And this green one only goes around once. And then this yellow one's a little bit longer. And look at this red one. Which one do you think is the longest? The red one would be if we made it all straight. What about which one do you think would be the shortest? The green, because it would only open up one time. Which lace would best fit this shoe? Well, maybe the red ones, you would need them to go all the way up to the top. But definitely a longer lace. Which lace would be best for this one? It would definitely need to be the short one to fit only 4 holes. Length is the measurement of something from one end to another. If you look at this ruler, they're measuring the pencil and they have to start right at the first black line. And they lay it flat all the way against it straight, and it stops right about this line. It's about 13 centimeters long. One side is centimeters, the other side is inches. We talk about the length of a swimming pool. Wow, does that look long or short? Definitely long. The length of running a race. Races are usually pretty long. And the length of a parkway. Wow, that would be a lot of cars on the road. You could measure the length of a table by counting hand spans. That means you could use your hand to measure. They could move their hand to here and then to here. You could measure the length of a wall by counting paces. That means when you walk, and you could go heel to toe to see how long the wall is. But people's hands are not all the same size. So do you think that measurement would be very accurate? Probably not, because a little kid's hand is a lot different than an adult's. And their paces may be different lengths. Look at the different sized boots. People are going to walk in a different pace. Try arranging things in order of length. Which of these do you think is the longest? Which is the shortest? Well, we got a ruler, a comb, a straw, and a colored pencil. The longest looks like it's the ruler. And I'd say the colored pencil is the shortest. You could try guessing. Arrange them like this to check your answer if you are correct. The biggest thing you gotta make sure is that they're all lined up on one end together. And then you can see which one is the tallest, which would be the longest, and which one is the shortest. To make the exact measurements, we need to use standard measures. They are the same everywhere. Small lengths are measured in centimeters or inches, and larger ones in meters or feet. That's a big meter stick. Standard measures are useful for cutting the exact amount of wood. If your dad or somebody in your family is a carpenter, they need to make sure they're using a tape measure like this one to get the exact measurement. Or the exact amount of cloth. If you're going to make a blanket or a shirt, you need to make sure you're using the exact measurement. You can't use your hand to measure somebody's body to make a shirt. That won't work. Distances are measured in kilometers or miles. We also use standard measurement to measure your height. How tall are you? If you go to the doctor, they'll use something that looks kind of similar to this. Height is the measurement from the top of something to the ground. You can measure the height of the stick and the length of its shadow. So you would need to go from the top all the way to the bottom. No longer and no shorter, or it won't be true. Do you think that the height of the stick is greater than the length of the shadow? So which one do you think is taller or longer? The stick or the shadow? I guess the shadow. What is the difference between height and length? How high can you jump? Height goes up and down. How far can you jump? Length goes from side to side. We can compare the height of things with our own size. Look at this girl. Is she taller or shorter than the plants around her? She's taller. What about when she's by trees? Is she taller or shorter? She's shorter. Build some towers like this. Can you arrange them in order of height? See if you can do that at home, especially if you're at home for remote learning. Build some towers with blocks or Legos, and then rearrange them by height. These are not in order from tallest to smallest, because this guy is taller, so it would need to go over there. See if you can practice this skill at home. Thanks for listening.